So I'm gonna open the meeting at 6:30 p.m. And real quick, we'll just welcome, so Kathleen Evans, do you like to be called Kathleen?
Yes, yeah, Kathleen.
Okay, all right, just making sure. So Kathleen Evans, Kathleen Woodward, it looks like Kevin Callahan is on and Dan Salvucci is on the meeting. So we may or may not have one more person joining us, but well, actually Gabby Callahan's calling in, so let's hold on a minute for her.
So you have a 4-member or 5-member board?
Nope, so we have a 4-member board.
Right.
Well, we have a
4-member board.
5-member, I'm sorry, we have a 5-member board. Ron and Ryan Tully are the other 2 members, but Ryan's wife is having a baby or had a baby.
Okay.
Not available right now. And Ron may or may not come in on the call, so I'm not sure. Gabby Callahan just signed on, so Kathleen, just so you know, Gabby
Right.
has been working the camp, and Dan, Gabby has been working the park program. I don't even know how long, I think since it started, even though she's not that old.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gab.
So
Nice to meet you.
Gabby's a great asset, and
Hi.
she was really, hi Gabby,
Hi.
really instrumental in helping Kathleen Woodward when Kathleen started last year, and she basically is like the lead person on the park and pool program. So she's listening in on the call too.
Yes, she
Beautiful.
is. So grateful for Gabby.
Yep. So we're gonna let Dan say a few words, and then he has to exit the meeting, and then we'll proceed with the rest of our meeting. How's that?
Okay, in case you don't know me, I'm Dan Salvucci. I'm Vice Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, and I am the representative of the board to the Recreation Commission. I don't usually go to anyone that I'm a liaison to, all the different boards and committees. I don't usually go to their meetings, the town meetings. Because unless I'm asked for, or there's an issue that I can help out with, but this is your board, and anybody else's board, they do such great work that why would I interfere? But at this point, the reason that I'm here tonight is because we had an issue with you getting a quorum. And we come up with some solutions, and we made some phone calls, Lincoln and I, and we talked to a few people to make sure that they want to be dedicated to the Recreation Committee commission, because what you do is too important not to have. I mean, without having a full board, you couldn't plan for the summer. It would be too late. We wouldn't have a summer program, which would absolutely disappoint a lot of parents in the town of Whitman. So the reason I'm here is to let you know that what you do is very, very, very important. And the members of your commission need to show up at all your committee meetings and make sure that you make your Recreation Commission work, the park programs work, the pool work, anything that needs to get done, it needs to be programmed and getting ready for the summer. It needs to be done, and you need voters to do it. You need your votes. So I'm just glad that you have a full board basically now, and that, like I was saying, Kathleen, at our annual town meeting, we're going to try and put an article where if you're an associate member to your board and you cannot reach a quorum for whatever reason, someone is sick or whatever, and you don't have a quorum, an associate member can step in for that meeting and vote. I mean, I believe the Board of Appeals is like that, and the Planning Board is like that. I'm not, maybe just the Board of Appeals because they're elected.
No, I think
We vote them in, right?
there's a few of them that are like that. I think the Library Commission. So I think it's going to be a blanket across all the boards. They're
Right.
trying.
And I
That'll be
think
so
that
helpful.
that makes sense because of the fact that, not everybody can make all the meetings. So if somebody can't make it
Understandable.
and all of a sudden you don't have a quorum and you need to have one to take care of business, then that person can step in. And then a lot of times, like when my daughter-in-law was on the planning board, if there was an issue that was she was involved in, she would step down off the board and an associate member would take her place that article. It's when like they were building something in her neighborhood when she was living in Whitman. She would step down and an associate be able to step in, cover for that vote. And then of course she'd go back on the board. But anyway, so I just wanted to say, I'm glad that you have a full board. I'm glad you'll now be able to take care of business because the park program, the pool program is too important to the town not to make it happen. So
Right.
have a great meeting.
Agreed.
and I'm
Thank
gonna
you
go
so
have
much,
dinner.
Dan.
Thank you,
I'm gonna have
Dan.
dinner.
Appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
So, just real quick, we're gonna try to keep this meeting to under an hour. So, Kathleen and I will kind of like orchestrate, going through the, items on the agenda. And then we're gonna try to plan on next month's meeting, when we set a date, to meet in person, start getting back to in-person meetings, just because, I think it works, but if we need to do Zoom, I don't even know how much longer it's going to be extended for, but we want to get back to in-person meetings. So,
Definitely.
we can go in order the agenda. The first thing up is the budget fiscal year 2022 and fiscal year 2023. Kathleen, if you just want to talk briefly about what's going on with that.
Yes, well, first of all, thanks so much everybody being here. It's nice to see and hear all of you. And thanks, Gabby, for joining us. Much appreciated. And I'd also like to thank the members of the board who were previously on the board, Joe Cunningham and June O'Leary. So glad that June can still be a part of it, and grateful for, Joe Cunningham's service and dedication to the Recreation Commission for so many years. So I am indebted to all of you, and I'm grateful for all of your support for the recreation program. So fiscal year 2022, we have in our field maintenance account, we have $7,000. In the recreation revolving account, we have $29,000. In the general fund, we have these numbers were updated today, and I didn't. It's $12,000, and miscellaneous expenses about $5,000. I'm rounding up, but so we are. We have a balanced budget, and we have funds available for the programs that that will be happening this summer to start us off with, which is wonderful news. As we know that we didn't have the programs the prior year before that, so we were basically running on empty. And so it's nice to be able to have something to help start us off with. For fiscal year 2023, I will be meeting with the Finance Committee next week and discussing the proposal for fiscal year 2023, which we have proposed that the director's salary stay the same, the swimming pool increase to $10,000 because we last year we had some maintenance challenges that we needed to work with, and so not necessarily the pool is going to be in need of some other major repairs. We had pump issues and things like that we fixed temporarily. Hopefully that will last, but such a situation, we needed just a little bit more money. Hopefully we won't have to use it, but it's I think we probably will based on the pool. And so that was an increase just for it's basically for pool maintenance. And activities and expenses, we were asking for a $2,500 increase because of the need for the 4th of July programs, as well as for other programs that we want to have throughout the town, like movie nights and things like that. So extra funds so that we can provide, recreation activities for the town. So that's what we will present to the Finance Committee next week. And I can let you know next month how what's the next step in that direction. Continuing on with our fields, we have four town organizations utilizing the fields. Whitman Hanson Youth Soccer. Whitman and Hanson have now combined to be a dual team, combination team, Whitman and Hanson, as well as Whitman Hanson softball, Whitman Hanson lacrosse, and Whitman Little League. So all those organizations are utilizing the amazing fields that we have, and we're so grateful for the DPW that take care of them, as well as the school department that take care of the Whitman Middle School fields, as well as the amazing crew that soccer and softball and baseball have to take care of their own fields. So they do a lot of self-maintenance for their own fields, which is so helpful. They are in the process of getting me their requests for when they use the fields, and then I organize the schedules and work with the schedulers to make sure that everybody has the field usage that they are needing. So there's a lot of compromise that goes on, and I know that they all work really well together. They did that last summer, spring and summer, and everything worked out fabulously. So it's a great group of people that are organizing the town youth sports programs. Great group of people. Let's see. So the next thing on the agenda was the field rental costs. So
Kathleen, do you want to just hold off on the field rental cost, and we'll go over all the costs of everything at the end? We'll just get through the other stuff first.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
that's fine.
thanks.
The park program, in talking, we are so grateful that Gabby is going to be able to be our park coordinator, as well as she did last year for the park and the pool program. And so in talking with her and trying to plan for this coming year, we were trying to figure out the start date of the program, and we felt that the start date for the program, probably the best start date would be the week of July 4th, because school is getting out so late this year that we didn't have a lot of people that came the first week after school gets out. It's not a very popular week. A lot of families have gone on vacation, we found. And so the week of the 4th of July is also a less attended week, but you people are aware of that, and that's when the programs have started. So we were thinking of having the program run from July 4th to either August 13th or August 20th. But that really depends on our counselors. We have a lot of counselors who go to college, and they often leave that that following week after camp has ended. So I guess that's kind of, I don't have a hard number on that, but our idea was start the week July 4th and end on August 13th.
So my only suggestion for that, because we have in the past only had like a 7-week camp, a lesser week camp because of when school got out and going back, is maybe once we start hiring people or whoever's coming back, we ask them their availability for the week of that 20th. And when we put out all the paperwork for camp, we only say it's through August, the week ending August 13th. And then maybe in parentheses, we put possibility of continuing 1 week, to be determined or something. And then, if we end up having, in these around numbers, Gabby, I know you know the figures way better, but if we end up having like 6 counselors that are available, then we can take 40 kids or not 80, or you know what I mean, something like that, just because if it probably would be beneficial to some families if we had the 1 more week, especially still having another week before school starts or sporting activities start for the older kids. So that was just a suggestion. I don't know. I don't think it's going to hurt. We're going to, if we put it out that the camp will go to the 13th, but possibly the following week to be determined. What do you think about that, Gabby?
I don't think it's a bad idea to add it. In the past, it used to be 5 weeks. Like this camp was only 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's only, I think, like the third year that we've done the 7 weeks. I think either way it goes, 6 weeks is not going to be bad. And with the outcome we had last year, we're expecting a lot more kids. So I don't think, I mean, I think we'll make out either way. Like I'm not worried at all. We can definitely add the 7th week. I can talk to the staff and see what their outcomes are and what's going on. But a lot of them are like freshmen and sophomores in college. And if not in college, they're in high school, and school starts that like midweek in August. And I don't want to like interfere with their sports and stuff. So
Right.
I'll definitely talk to like returners and see like where their heads are at with all that. But tentatively, I'm okay with it. Whatever works.
Okay, great. That sounds good.
So
Okay.
we're hoping to keep the same setup and the same organization that we had last year in terms of area coordinators and counselors, taking groups of kids from station to station, from area to area, because that worked out really well last year. The kids were with their peers and enjoyed being with their peers, and the counselor got to know them all throughout the week, which was, they created a great bond. So it was nice to be able to have that setup. It worked really well, and the kids enjoyed being in a group and then traveling around the camp to the different areas. So we're in the process of organizing those different types of areas and what that will look like, and having area coordinators for each different topic, to area, like arts and crafts and nature science and a sports area and field games and of course the pool. So they rotated into all those areas, and then they spent time, 2 groups at a time were in the pool, and were able to enjoy the entire pool as well for a 45-minute period of time, which was great. So that's our plan, to keep going on that. We also we're trying to encourage a counselor and training program, and we want to promote that for rising 8th graders. And so about, they're around 14-ish, or, maybe a little bit earlier, a little bit later, but about 14, and try to encourage them, if they're interested in being a camp counselor, they would participate in the program for a reduced rate so they would get experience and working with a counselor. So they would be like the counselor in training, that right-hand person for the counselor. Apprentice. I like that. Apprentice. Yeah. And having organized counselors and training programs previously in other activities that I've been involved with, it really works well, and it promotes them to be able to be a part of the program later on. The next year they'll be 15, and they would be able to be hired as a junior counselor. So that will be a great step in the right direction. We have a lot of people who are, enjoy working with kids, and probably many of them are campers themselves and have been campers, and they like to give back, so it's a great thing to see that, the town of Whitman is able to do that. I mean, you have many people who were campers and who are now counselors and absolutely love the program, and you feel such a part of it. So we want to keep encouraging that. Let's continue on. The pool program, I'm happy to say that Cam Hilton has said that he would like to come back as the coordinator for the pool. And we were thinking about the pool being open, hopefully in June, and hopefully we can organize it so that we can open on the weekends before school gets out. The more pool time, the better, I think. It's a beautiful pool. We need to utilize it as much as we can. So hopefully we'll be able to get that organized so that we can open on the weekends ahead of time. We were thinking of the swimming lessons happening from 8 to 10 in the morning, and then the park program uses the pool from 10 to 2, and then the public can use the pool from 2 to 7. Swim team, we'd like to reintroduce the swim team. We weren't able to have it last year, and I know that was a big draw in previous years. Whitman swim team is very well known, and absolutely so many people enjoy being a part of it. So the swim team could either practice from 7 to 8, I know, bright and early, or from 7 to 8 p.m. So that's what we're, talked about in terms of that. And we would need water safety instructors, lifeguards, and gate attendants to take care of the pool, just as in the past. I believe there'll just need to be 2 lifeguards on duty, not necessarily 3, depending on how many people there are. Last year, because of COVID, we were required to have 3. Not officially, we haven't gotten all the protocols and the regulations from the state yet, but that's what we're hoping for. And the pool programs for the would be we would offer a seasonal pass, and we offer swim lessons, and of course the swim team. Hopefully we can get that back going. So that is, in terms of programming, that's what we're looking forward to do for the summer months. And then I know the next item on the agenda was the cost of the programs and the cost of everything to discuss. But the other events that Recreation is involved with is the Cultural Fair on June 25th. Dawn Byers reached out to us and was asking if we wanted to set up a table and promote the recreation program for the summer. And we absolutely would love to do that. I haven't talked to her if she's interested in any events or activities that the staff could be involved with to help out if they were around. But that's something that we can look into, and I was going to talk to Gabby about.
If you don't mind, so I'm on the planning committee for the event.
Oh,
And
fabulous.
so yeah, so I can't speak for Dawn because she's definitely the one in charge, but we are looking for interactive things to get people involved. So a game, or
Look
a
at
game,
Gabby, she's all
or
excited.
something to get kids going is
Yeah.
absolutely what their goal is. Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. Great, love that. And we also have the 4th of July event to plan, and also movie nights, which were very successful last summer. So those are the 3 things that we're talking about for the summer months. And we hadn't set anything up, but in the past, in the spring, we've had an egg hunt. So that's something that we were, trying to possibly plan as well. We had coordinated for the 4th of July event last year with the library. They provided a craft. And so that was something that the library, children's librarian had reached out and asked about as well, if we were interested in doing something like that around in the springtime. So those are the events.
Yeah, so as far as the events go, I'm thinking probably next month's meeting, we can dive a little more deeper into those, especially 4th of July. And
Right, I think
anything
it's
over
too
the
late for
summer.
us to plan something for spring, like an egg hunt, or in terms of.
I mean, you probably could. We always kept it kind of simple. The only thing, when we did the egg thing last time, what we did is we did it indoors, and we had a big, it was like a barnyard blow up. It was a big, flat maze blow up that we had up in town hall. And then we had certain times for certain kids to come in. They had to bring their own basket or bag, and then they could go through and get candy and or eggs. We put some candy out, some eggs out. The library was there. I think we had a face painter one year. We had the Easter Bunny to take pictures with. What else did we do? Oh, we did a guessing jelly bean jar with a basket the kids won, that kind of thing. So, I mean, Halloween, I was just gonna say Halloween. Easter is kind of late this year, right? It's not till April 17th.
It's a week of the 15th. Good Friday is the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. So then that next week is when the kids are off from school, and they have that Friday, Good Friday off. The 15th is off.
Right, so typically before, when we've done it, we did it on a Saturday. Not the day before Easter though. It was like the week ahead of time. So I guess we'd have to
The
see,
9th?
like, yeah, we could do it on the 9th or even do it on Sunday, the 10th. If we had to do the, depending on what was going on at town. I doubt anything's going on at town hall on a Saturday or a Sunday. So I don't know, it depends if people want to do it. I mean, the biggest thing, Kathleen, new Kathleen, I'll call you, is getting people to help and get things done and set them up and, reach out for different things. So I have no problem kind of doing some legwork on seeing what we can get from Busy Bee. And again, it's always a budgeting thing. So I mean, everything seems to be expensive now. So the thing is, we need a lot of eggs and usually we buy them pre-filled. So they're a little bit more expensive, but when,
I know the Easter Bunny.
yeah.
You know,
Ron
the Easter
dressed-
Bunny?
I do.
dressed up as the Easter Bunny, which that always worked out good too, so I can start doing a little bit of legwork on it. And I mean, we can, kind of figure out by email if we want to move forward and what's available, if you guys want to do that. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. We could also see if the library wants to get involved, because that would be like a very
Yeah,
financially frugal way to get some stuff going.
No, any event we have, the library always comes and does a craft. So
Oh, great. That's every event. That's lovely.
usually like 4th of July, they do, when we did Halloween events, we did Easter events, we do Christmas events, they always come and yep, they do like a free craft. It's great. They set up an
Cool.
area, they bring in all their stuff and
So
at
would we
4th of
charge?
July last year, it was like a take home thing, but usually the Easter event, they were there and had something, whether it was bunnies they colored or whatever,
Nice.
but yeah. So
Yeah.
Kathleen Woodward, I don't know if you want to reach out
Yep,
to
I
the
can,
library.
yeah, I can reach out to them. Yep.
Okay,
And then I need to check with the town hall to see if there's anything happening on, so either the
9th or the 10th.
9th or 10th.
Yeah, and usually we just did like a 3-hour window. And what we would do is like kids ages blank to blank. I probably still have a flyer somewhere. Kids ages, whatever it is, certain to certain, come at 11. Their hunt is at 11. Then ages or grades. No, I think we did grades. We did grades. Their hunt was, a half hour later. So we reset up the eggs and, we try to put out there like no taking any more than 10 eggs because, the kids as they get a little bit older tend to take, if they bring a basket this big, they're filling it
Right.
this big.
Right. So did you want to do like you said, that maze kind of thing again?
Yeah,
Like,
so
it would be indoors.
I'll reach out to Busy Bee and I'll start pricing the eggs.
I'll
like
check with the
pre-filled.
town hall about if there's anything happening. So would it be from like 9 to 12 or 10 to
So
1?
I think we did like 10 to 12:30 or something like that, like earlier, you know what I mean? I think 9 might be a little early, so maybe like 10 to 1, say 10 to 1 to be safe. On the 9th or the 10th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can.
And
I'll
keep
let-
it
we can
kind of
just price
basic.
it.
I mean,
Yeah, basic
big
and fun.
yeah, the big expense would probably be the eggs and that. I know at Christmas things, we've handed out cookies and stuff like that, but I would probably stay away from that right now.
Well, they're getting the eggs. That's their,
Yeah, they're getting candy or whatever. So that's really the only expense. And then Busy Bee or the other bouncy place we used, I'll check with them too, because they seem to be pretty good too.
right, they have other things. Yeah, some of them do.
So I think what we would need to do is have a motion for expenses for the Easter event if we move forward with it, because we have to approve spending money. So does someone want to motion that? Kathleen? Want to go
Yeah, I'll
ahead?
make that a motion.
I'll move.
Sounds good.
I'll motion it.
Okay, Kevin and Ron? Yes?
Yeah,
And I'm a yes. Okay, so motion. Okay, that's good. And then 4th of July, we can just hold off and talk about that at the next meeting. Just to give you a little background, same thing, Kathleen Library, we'll have them do something. We do like you've been, we do a bike thing and the Boy Scouts come and sell hamburgers and hot dogs. The pool's open free in the afternoon. So the plan has always been like every year, try to add a little bit more. So any ideas to add things would be great. I did kind of start putting some things together. So I got the shaved ice lady to come again. She was a big hit last year.
She was, oh my God, that was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, she was a great hit. We had to move it last year. So that is something we might want to talk about. 4th of July is a Monday. Now, I know historically, we always have this party on the 4th of July. Last year, the 4th of July was a Saturday. Did we skip a year this year? I don't know. Whatever it was.
Weekend.
Yeah, we had to postpone it because of the weather to the next day. So the only problem is this year is with 4th of July being on a Monday on the 4th. If we have to postpone because of rain, it would go to Tuesday. And you're not going to get a quarter of the people because people are working. So my only thing, maybe we think
Right,
about.
and that
for
would be
next-
technically the first day of camp too, so.
Right. So the only thing I think we should think about and talk about next month is maybe we should have it on the 3rd of July. So that we have Monday to move it to if weather related. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It doesn't 100%. Oh, Gabby just wrote definitely yes. So that's good feedback. Because we would hate to cancel it all together or have to move it to the whole following weekend. So, we could even toy
Right.
with throwing out, maybe we have it on July 2nd, the Saturday. And then that gives us 2 days because of weather. I don't know. Again, just throwing it out. You never know with weather or whatever.
No, we don't. We certainly were,
So,
yeah.
so
last
if
year was
everybody
a pretty
wants to
wet
think
summer.
about, think about that date, maybe moving it around a little bit. Okay, because
Yeah, I
that would
think
be
we're
something we
flexible with that.
probably, that would be something we would have to decide probably by next month, just because of vendors and letting people
Right, it needs to get on the
know.
calendar and all that, and.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then again, if anybody has any ideas of things, just start thinking ideas to add to the event. I did tell Kathleen quickly in passing, I reached out to Table Talk Pies, that makes the little pies. There's like individual pies and then they have big pies. So I reached out to them to see if we could get a donation of little pies or even like a huge discount. They're not that expensive anyway, but thinking maybe a pie eating contest, I think would be kind of fun for the kids, like with the little ones. So, little things like that. If you can think of anything that would bring to the event,
Yeah,
that
always
would be
up for suggestions and for more fun.
right. So, okay, so that's all for that. And then movie night, again, we can talk about those and maybe plan or, any ideas of any other little programs you think we could bring back or do.
Great.
Okay, so now I think we can circle back to, I'll say it quick and then Kathleen can go over it more detailed. The spreadsheet we sent out, Kathleen sent out with all the cost estimates and everything. One thing, just everybody knows, we are a summer program. So just keep in mind, Kathleen, I know you're new to the board, so just so you know, keep in mind, we do not, in last year, we kind of did a bump increase for everybody because some of the wages were a little out of whack. Because we're a summer program, we legally don't have to pay minimum wage because it's a summer program. However, pretty much everything on the The spreadsheet is minimum wage. The only one that was kind of low that we were gonna amend on that spreadsheet is the gate attendant was $13 last year. That's kind of like a kid that's getting their first job, coming out. So they got paid $13 last year. We're gonna drop that to $12.50, but we're gonna amend that and just leave it at the $13.
Okay.
Not put it down to $12.50. And just so you know, everything, these wages, it's kind of like a constant working spreadsheet. Kathleen Woodward's been working on, I've been working on. These are self-funded programs. So unless we get more money in the budget, we have to work within, you know, we have other spreadsheets that we can show you that we have. I made spreadsheets last year of if we have 25 kids in the program paying this amount and 5 families are discounted and we need 10 counselors and 2 lifeguards, and we know exactly how much money that's going to cost per day. And we know that some weeks we were short and some weeks we're a little over. So the figures on the estimates for income pretty much cover us for what we need to do based on we get these campers. So this year, I think, like Gabby did an awesome job last year, and Kathleen, and Gabby can say there's a lot of buzz. There was a lot of buzz last year about all these kids coming back this year and more kids coming back. So I think we're going to have a really strong program this year that as we build it, you know, I think it's only going to get better. And maybe then we can move into something a little bit bigger, or that the town sees the value of this program. And next year, when we're doing our budget, we present our budget as, listen, like we have 100 kids at camp a week and we need a little bit more money so that we can pay the counselors more competitive rates or whatever. So that's kind of how we base the budgeting of wage rates and all that. Obviously,
Sure.
some people like Gabby's been here a long time. She has a much higher role than, you know, a 16-year-old coming in on their first job. And these rates are pretty competitive with the towns around us. I have done a little research with that. So we're actually a little bit higher than a lot of places. So I think we're pretty competitive. So
I did
yeah,
want to
think-
ask really quickly. I know we'll probably go like line by line, but where it's only 2 positions that are under the state minimum wage. And it sounds like from what Kathleen was saying in the beginning that we had requested a little bit more money this year. And I feel like there's CARES money that's coming in as well.
Yeah,
It's
but that-
something like, oh yeah, go ahead, sorry.
the CARES money is covering what we were under last year. So that's
Okay.
not, yeah, that's kind of like covering, we were well underfunded last year. So that money coming back is almost a reimbursement. So we have a really tight budget. So, but sorry, I just wanted to tell you what that CARES money was.
Oh,
But go
no,
ahead.
no, I appreciate it. Cause I again, like, I just know that it's there, you know, so that's good to know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we're hopeful it
I'll
will
ask
be
when we get to
recipient
it
of
for
it.
sure. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, we still await what CARES Act money will have. We applied for it and we, you know, did all the paperwork for that. And so we're awaiting to see if it was approved. What we asked for back was approved. We're hopeful that it is.
Okay.
So would you like to go line by line, or were there items
think
here
we-
that were just like like if you had a question
Yeah.
about any of them, or how would we like to
I
do-
think what we could do is, let's section it off. So let's go with the first page. Pool passes, movie night, party rental. Does anybody have any questions on that section? No? Okay. Pool and swim lessons. Does anybody have a question on that section? That was the one where we're gonna amend the gate attendant to the 13 from the 12.50.
In the past, and again, I'm sorry, I'm asking so many questions. I just want to
No,
make sure I
that's
know because
fine.
I'm
No,
new.
happy to answer and glad that you are asking questions. It's all right.
In the past, is it practice to give seasoned employees a slight bump? So it says the like plus 25 cents per hour for people who are coming back.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And no question.
Okay. And same thing, Kathleen, Ron, Kevin, just I'll add my 2 cents, like swim lessons, we're going up, $5 per kid or whatever. That was a real tight number too. Like we're really working on, for better words, Kathleen, right? Bare bones, like we're trying
Yeah,
to,
because we're
we
trying to
still
keep,
need.
the cost of everything reasonable for Whitman families, and we want to encourage them to be able to, utilize the wonderful program, the wonderful pool that we have and the park program that we have, and keep it reasonable
Right.
for everybody.
Okay, the next section, park program. So we'll go from park down through the park program on the family cap, like how much it is per child, that kind of thing. And Kathleen Evans, just so you know, you probably know, maybe you don't. We have a whole online sign-up system Kathleen Woodward implemented last year. It's awesome. Unipay, all the money goes through that. They sign up, keeps track of, who signs up, and they sign waivers and put their t-shirt size in and everything. So she started that last year and it's awesome.
So helpful. Oh my gosh, so helpful. Yeah, the Unipay is a great, and that's what the town uses for all of their online payments. So we set it up so that you can click, I have one child and I want to go the first week and the 5th week, and you can do it all together. And you can get a pool pass too if you wanted. Like it all works together. So, which is nice.
Yep. Okay, so any questions on that part?
On the parks part,
Park
I
or,
do have-
yeah, the whole park program, the family cap, the first child, the supervisor, salaries, all that. Yeah, that second page, I
Cool.
guess.
the only one that I was looking at was the camp counselor, because it went down to $13.50 from $14. I was wondering if it was possible to amend like we did with the gate attendance, just to at least keep it at the same as what it was last year, so we don't drop further from the state minimum, even though I know we don't have to meet it. But it just seems like a bad direction to go in if we want to ask for more money next year.
Yeah, I agree with Kathleen on that one. I know that we're on like a really tight budget, but from a perspective of like, I've talked to a lot of staff and I've talked to a lot of people. They can go work at Target for $15 an hour. And I know this is a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable, but for me, it's a lot harder because I see it from their perspective of like, I understand that they need to get paid well. It's not an easy job to be in the sun for long hours. Yeah, so I would also question that just a smidge.
Okay, I'm fine with amending that to the $14 if everybody else is.
I also have another question really quick too.
Sure.
That area coordinator versus like, what's the difference between the line 1 area coordinator and the
Oh.
line 2 area coordinator?
Hold on, I have notes from last year's. Let's see. Kathleen, do you,
Well, the area coordinator was, the area coordinators were basically the assistant,
oh, I got
The-
it. I have.
the first area coordinator, that was like, the pool and the park assistants.
Assistant, so I can change that wording on that first area coordinator that's 17 in my notes from like last year's fees. That says assistant park and pool supervisor. So, and I could be wrong because I chicken scratch a little. Was there someone named Angela? So that's who is that
Right,
person?
so that's, yeah, so that was where
Okay.
that was their title, or, yeah, it was, they weren't the area coordinators. The area coordinators were like the people who were doing they had to organize the programs for the for this nature, and they had to organize a program for the arts and crafts and for the sports and that kind of thing. So they had extra planning time to be able to do that and they coordinated with Gabby, and they all created what was going to happen for that whole week, like basically every single day, what was going to happen based on the theme of the week as well. So they did a lot of planning. And then they were in charge of making sure that they, that they had the proper, equipment and things like that. And so that's when we worked together to make sure that they had the equipment that they need based on the activities that they wanted to have.
Okay, so what I'll do, Gabby, to make it way more clear, that first line area coordinator that says 17, I'll change to assistant park pool supervisor. It probably we just wrote.
I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't 100% positive. so-
Yeah.
No,
No,
thank you for that.
that's
We didn't notice that either.
Yeah.
Because I was like
didn't
area
know.
coordinator versus area coordinator. I'm not sure what the difference is, but
Yeah.
that works.
I'll take the higher one.
So when there's
Yeah.
two, so there's an assistant for the pool and there's an assistant for the
Park.
park.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then the supervisor is in charge of all of it,
Right.
Follow-up
which would be
question?
Gabby.
Sorry. Follow-up
Yeah.
question to now the area coordinator where it says 1450. I don't remember what we had. I think it was 15 that we had him at.
They
Now
worked
there's
it,
people
yeah.
coming back that have worked there. So
So
how is that going to work? Are they going to be at 1450 and then they're going to get a 25-cent increase? So they're going to get paid
nope.
less than they were last
If
year?
if you look at that area coordinator, it's $15 from last year. A new hire, we're just bumping it back to $14.50. But if you're returning, you're going to get an extra quarter. You'll get the 25 cents.
Okay, so
So
the
they would
new
go up to
area
15.
coordinators would be the 1525.
25.
Okay, and then
If
a
you were here
regular-
last year.
Okay,
If you were there last year.
So
And
then-
then the assistant park pool
mhm,
is going to go up to $17.50.
okay. And then if I was to have people that are were camp counselors, so they've worked there for a few years and we bumped them up to coordinator, would they get the 1525 or would they get 1475?
I would say because they're not a new hire, they're going to get the 1525.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Right? Kathleen Woodward, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Yeah. Any new hires will get whatever the rate was in that category plus their 25 cents. Yeah,
Thank you for clearing that up. Much
Yep.
appreciated.
no problem. And then again, we did bump up, thinking the weekly cost of the park program is $10 on, a weekly fee. Last year it was 130, we're going to 140 this week. So they're getting, when you figure it out by the hour, it's not an expensive.
It's
camp to
very
go to.
reasonable.
Yes, yes. So, okay. So everybody good on those changes and that, or any other?
I just wanted to ask really quic. For
Oh, please don't worry. That's what we're here for. That's why
No,
we
I
do this. Don't
know.
worry, please.
I know because we already passed it. But just so for the gate attendance where it's 13 and it just seems like it's $1, like significantly lower than the other ones. I know that ideally it is like that, like it's a first time job and everything, but kind of like
They're
how Gabby said.
15, yeah, they're the 15-year-olds that
The
take-
15-year-olds.
are doing those jobs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but they could work somewhere else and get a significantly more amount of money. Is there a way to check and see if it's feasible, like just that one change in addition to the ones we just made? I don't know if that's something that you guys have mapped out and it's impossible or.
That's the only thing. Like if we increase them $1, that's $8 a day times 4 days a week, 5 days a week.
7
like,
days a week.
7 days a week because they work on the weekends too. Like
12 to
that is
7.
that's kind of, that might be a little stretch because they're kind of like an additional employee that's checking people in, that kind of thing. Not saying it isn't a like responsible job. It is a responsible job. And those we kind of always figured, like we said, it's a first job, it's a summer job, that
Sure.
kind of thing. We only hire a couple of them anyway, correct, Kathleen?
Yes, last year
Um,
we had 2 of them. So it's usually about two or three of them.
Yeah.
And they rotate, so they'll pick their days when they can come in. So like on the week, on the weekdays, it's Monday through Friday. Last year it was 3 to 7. And then on the weekends, it was 12 to 7. So, and because they're 15, they couldn't work 7 days straight. There's protocols
Right.
that we have to follow. And so they would either have Saturday, they would either work Saturday or they would work Sunday. And then they would split their time during the week. So one week they would work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The other week they would work Tuesday, Thursday. And we figured it out based on their schedules of how they worked out.
And
So
then
we had
with-
2 of them and it was rotating, and it was challenging because there were only 2. So we're hoping we can have, at least one more to be able to jump into the mix.
And
Yeah.
then factoring in, so this is where this money gets factored in. When we open the pool for open swim, say, so you have to look at the whole picture of, we have 2 lifeguards, we're paying X amount of dollars an hour. We're paying a gate attendant X amount of dollars an hour. That money is funded from the seasonal pool pass that people are only paying $130 for the whole summer. So
Sure.
if we don't get a lot of daily people using the pool, that's where last year we saw a lot of our deficit was in
That's a
money,
good point.
was from, keeping that.
Last year, we weren't able to sell pool passes as early as we will be able to this year. So that kind of limited us because we didn't know last year until mid-June that we were even going to be able to have pool passes. So, and we were grateful to be able to get them. And so we did have quite a few people who came in, for daily passes. So that definitely helped.
I know you had mentioned that we had 3 lifeguards last year and we're hoping to drop it down to 2. Would that decrease in budget kind of help to balance it out?
No, because that money that that money basically for the 3rd lifeguard is part of the CARES Act because that was mandatory because of COVID. So
Gotcha.
technically that's getting covered under the CARES Act money. We would never have had 3
Yeah.
because
So during
budget wise, that won't work.
So 2 during the week, but then 3 on the weekends.
Yes.
Because there's more people that come on the weekends. So we schedule 3 for the weekends, and we had 3 last year during the week. But then depending on what the state requires, we would like to be able to go back to 2. It was wonderful to see all the lifeguards there, but when they didn't have as many people as you would think, but you had to be able to plan for that just in case.
Right.
Sure.
And I think also is last year with being COVID and this year kind of being our first year back is like, okay, now we have to see how many kids we get signed up. They kind of reworked the whole park program last year, see how many more people come to the pool. I think this is going to be a good year to get another very good baseline that maybe next year, maybe by the end of this year, we're like, oh geez, we sold double the pool passes. Now we have an influx of money. So we know next year, this is kind of caught on that next year, maybe everybody is at the minimum wage plus 50 cents to $1. But I think it would be and anybody can jump in here. I think it would be, I get like bringing people up closer to the minimum wage, but I think where we're so tight on our budget with the unknown, because last year we really don't have a good budget to go by because of all that CARES Act money. I think we have to be very mindful of that. And again, it's something else we can present next year saying we need our budget increased. We need some extra money for the pool staff or park staff. The pool is where we're actually much tighter on the pool budget than we are the park budget because
And we have a big
unknown.
maintenance budget for the pool as well.
Yeah.
Because it's taking,
Yeah, you had mentioned that at the beginning. That's fine. And I know that at least we're not dropping down. Like I like that we kept that line item the same. But I love the idea of having it as a goal next year to get closer, if not like have everybody at that minimum wage. If we see this large influx and we have the budget to kind of like present and be like, we're wanted in the town, you know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cool. No, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, and then the last part of that spreadsheet is the CIT program, which we spoke about that a little bit. And then the field rentals. So the field rentals going up also because we need to kind of incorporate covering some of DPW workers' salaries with cleanup on doubleheader games and things like that. So again, this is a working budget. The good part is we have a little bit of money in that budget already, Kathleen, correct, from last year.
Yes, we
So
do, and that pays for the electricity. It also pays for the porta potties that are there. And it helps to, we're required to have a DPW person there during like doubleheader games at Memorial Field. And so that's a very popular field, amazing. DPW takes such great care of it. And so it's a very popular field for outside organizations to use during the spring and summer weekends. And so we, need to make sure that it gets well taken care of. So the DPW comes and takes care of the field as well as cleans up and helps keep everything looking fabulous. So we pay for that. So the fields, rentals that money goes towards being able to pay for the DPW worker to work on the weekends. So we would like to increase the game from 65 to 80, from a doubleheader from 130 to 150, the practice session up to 50, the soccer, lacrosse, and football field, which is basically, that's the other main field that's at Memorial Field, increase $85 for a game or scrimmage and $50 for a practice session. And these are for all outside of the town sports program. So any town sports program, they don't pay for field usage. They it's the town's fields, and the town, we support the sports organizations and they utilize the field. So these are other outside organizations that want to rent the fields. That's who we charge for this.
Yeah,
And
like-
then the basketball and street hockey area increased to $55.
yeah, so Kathleen, it's like Venom baseball, any of those like club-like leagues or adult soccer, anything like that. That's who pays. In Kathleen.
Right, and they fill out a field request form, and they give us their user information as well as insurance and things like that. So they sign a user agreement and they set up using our field usage form. And all of the town programs get priority over anybody. So if the town program has a game on Saturday, the town, uses the field. So we just use what is available.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the amended, that's okay.
Sorry.
I was waiting for mine to start because but they didn't.
One will start because they heard the other, right? I'm gonna make a motion to approve the spreadsheets for the salaries and costs and everything based on the amended changes to what we discussed. So I'll motion to approve that. Anybody want a second?
Michelle, I'll second that.
Okay, and then Ron? Yes, no?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Okay, so that's all set.
So Ron,
Um,
you're absolutely right. There are people who, there's a lot of people who have been asking. I put it out there on the Facebook page that we were, going to be able to, start getting signups now. So now that we have been able to meet and approve things, I can get started on that and working with the Unipay system to be able to get everything up online, because I have gotten lots of requests. When our summer camp, signups kind of thing, because people are very in that mode now. Okay, what are we gonna do for the summer? What programs are out there? So we definitely will be publicizing.
So Kathleen,
Getting
when
things
do you
more
think the
organized.
Unipay system will be up and running and taking all this?
So I'm hoping, by the end of March. It depends on, they have a lot of the information in the system already. We just have to kind of tweak it and add, change the dates and change the
Some of the language has to be
the
changed.
language, I guess.
for-
Yes, that's the best,
So we
best way
should-
to say it. In terms of, and they're really great about being able to get it set up. So we have like a section for summer camp. The day camp program, we have a set up for swimming lessons, and then we have a setup for the pool passes so that they can go in and take care of that. That's how. So if someone wanted to sign up for swim lessons, they can sign up for swim lessons and, camp at the same time.
And then I think the last thing we need to talk about is basically the reorganizing of the committee.
Oh, wait, before we start that, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot to put on the cost estimate for, or how the fee for the swim team, because it wasn't on there for last year because we didn't have it.
Okay.
I pulled up what was there for 2019. And in 2019, the registration was 110 for one child, $100 for the second child, and 3 or more children were 300. Would we like to keep it that way? We had so for the swim team, it's usually there's 2 lifeguards or water safety instructors who help, who coordinate that. So that was that would be the $17 an hour and the $15 an hour person who is doing that. And they coordinate it. They run the practices, and then they get all the meets set up and things like that too. So that's basically the fees for that cover the expense of the 2 staff members that run it.
And how many weeks is that?
So they set it up for the flyer that said that was in for 2019. It was set up to start the week of June 24th, which must have been early because school must have been gotten out earlier than that. So probably set it up for the similar situation as 4th of July week. Like we can start doing it 4th of July week, just like we're setting up everything else. For the 6 weeks of the summer camp program.
And do they meet once a week, twice?
I think they practice like every day.
5 days?
I think they practice 5 days, and then one of the days they had a meet. And they either travel to it or people travel to the Whitman pool for it.
Okay, so, and sorry, now I'm gonna have a ton of questions.
I
Not
don't
that you
know
had a
all
ton.
I don't know all the details about it, but that's what
So,
talking to Cam about it last year, that's what I believe is what they did. I
Okay,
could be
so-
wrong, knowing that they did it every day. But I think they did do it. I think they did practice every day.
so when they have a meet, if they're traveling to other places, do we have to pay for them to like rent space at some place else? Like, I'm just trying to, again,
No,
cost thing.
no,
they
it was
just-
so say Cranberry Cove in Hanson has a swim team. They would come to the Whitman pool, and then the swim team, the Whitman swimmers would go to Cranberry Cove.
Cranberry
for a
Cove.
meet.
Okay.
Or like the Abington, they would have a meet in Abington. and then, or and then Abington would come to the pool, or they might go with like the Y program in Hanover or some other similar camp areas. There's a whole list, because Cam was very involved with it, so he's very aware.
Okay, so basically it's 6 weeks, 5 days a week. They practice for an hour or have a meet once a week or whatever.
Right, and so the extra cost is, 1 hour a day for the two coordinators,
Yeah,
the team.
for the 1 hour, but they really,
It's really only 1 hour. So that's 32 times 5. $160, but you're right. If it's like an extra half an hour because they have to plan, and then we're then there for like a meet, which is probably like 2 hours long.
I would say probably 2 hours a day, because that probably makes more sense with, they have to get there. They can't show up at 7 a.m. and leave right at 8. Say it was 7 to 8, they're gonna have to be there.
Right,
a
it's
little
like
early.
7:40, it's like 6:45 to like
So say we do
8:15.
2 hours for each of them a day. Right, instead of
Yep.
2 hours total, so 4 hours. $68. $340.
So I wasn't,
2,000, we have to make a little over $2,000 for the 6 weeks. That's just based on the 2 hours for each one a day. So that means we would need at least 20 kids to sign up to break even.
Do you have the numbers for what it was before? Like, I know we couldn't do it last year, but how many people participated the year we ran it?
I don't have those numbers on hand, but I can find them.
Oh, it's not a big deal. I was just wondering if it was close to that 20 number that.
I think it was. I mean, the Whitman
Yeah.
pool, I mean, the swim team is like really popular. And there was many people who were just like, please have it, last year. And unfortunately we couldn't due to the protocols, but they were definitely interested. And then what I have to look also further, but was the swim team available for kids who were like 5 and up, or was it like 8 and up? I have to look into that as well.
I think there was
there was
definitely an age requirement on it. So that's
because
probably
that was
in-
not on this flyer, so that's why I was wondering if
Yeah, so
anybody here knew.
maybe ask Cam, or we can look a little deeper. I might have some old flyers too in my emails I can take a peek at.
Yeah, this is the one that I have. The
Yeah.
most recent one that I could find.
Okay. So you figure 2 years ago, those were the costs, and it looks like kind of historically on like the field rentals. I'm just going by swim lessons that we normally do every year. We tend to go up.
Increased it a little,
5.
right?
Yeah, we tend to go up $5 to $10. Over the past couple of years, we've gone up $5 to $10 per. Swim lessons are going from 95 to 100. Park programs going from 130 to 140. So I don't know what everybody thinks. Like, do you think it's nominal to charge another $10, or do you want to try to keep it the same, or I don't know. I think 20 I vaguely remember, I don't know if Kevin remembers any of this, but I think we did have a good amount of kids in the program, because I don't think it's something that they come every single day. I think they sign up and they come as much as they can. Because when you factor it out, just like I was doing the quick math, for what they're getting, if they did come every day, it's costing like $2 to go and basically swim in the pool for an hour, So, and then go to a meet here and there. So I don't really have much of a idea 100%. But
Kathleen, what were the prices that you put out before?
110 for one child and 100 for the second child. For with
Yeah.
a 3 or more children was a family cap of 300.
I think raising it would be fine, particularly because we don't know how many people are going to do it right now. It might be safer.
So do you think like putting $10 on each one? So go from 110 to 120 for the first child, 100 to 110 for the second child, and then 310 for 3 or more family cap. Does that sound? 1, 2. Does that sound? What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
I agree.
I think that sounds good.
Okay,
And even if you
All right.
wanted to make it sound like nice and have the cap still be at 300, you know what I mean? But I think even raising the cap is fine. I don't think that's a problem.
all right, so do you want to do? Okay, so I'll do a motion to approve 2020 prices for the swim team to $120 for the first child, $110 for the second child, and do you want to? I'm just looking at this.
I'd go with what you
Okay.
had. I think the
310.
first one was good.
Okay, 310 for 3 or more, because that's still like a $30 discount when you have 3, or at least 3. So, and 310 for 3 children or more family cap. So, anybody second?
Second,
Kathleen?
I vote yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Right, so that's good. Got that. Okay, so real quick, and then we can go into any quick questions or anything else Kathleen wants to wrap up in. So just thinking, because Ryan isn't here tonight, so again, food for thought for the next meeting, because we probably need to think about, we do have to do this next meeting, is reorganizing the committee. So we always in history, historically, we've had a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary. So right now, the only thing we have is a secretary. That's me. So I don't know, anybody, what they want, think about for the next meeting, if there's something you specifically want to go for, and maybe we'll bring it up at the next meeting at the beginning, because hopefully Ryan will be at the next meeting too, and then we'll have like a full board to see what's going on. I will just say I am interested in being the chair, but if someone else wants it, we can definitely talk about it and, maybe figure out something with a chair and vice chair or whatever. And that's it. So you guys, everybody can
I
kind of
agree
think
with
about
that,
it.
totally.
Okay. So whatever, I just think maybe we should, wait to 100% approve anything till Ryan's here to give him just an idea on it too. The secretary thing isn't very difficult. You take the meeting minutes, you submit it to Dawn and Mike at Town Hall, and you post about the upcoming meetings, and that's kind of really it. So if anybody wants to do that, or if they don't, we don't have to have a secretary. I can keep doing that too. I don't know, whatever. So that's about it. And then the last, one more thing, the camp, I don't think we need to vote on this, but just to bring up one more thing, the camp the age of the camp used to be 5, starting at age 5, but this year we
He
were
had
going
finished
to,
kindergarten.
yeah. So this year we're going to put it to 6, Kathleen. And
Well, yeah, they have finished kindergarten. They
finish
had
kindergarten,
Finished
sorry.
kindergarten, right?
Yeah,
To
So-
finish grade 5.
yeah. So basically it's just adjusting it a little bit because some of the kids were way too young because they haven't completed kindergarten. And then on the other end, some of the kids were too old that there was just, that's why we kind of thought about the CIT program, even though there's going to be a little gap there, but the kids were too old to come to camp, and the
So we'd like
counselors.
we'd like to have it if you finished kindergarten and then through finishing grade 5.
Rather than 6th graders, because I think that was a little bit of a thing last year. They're just a little too old to be there for the whole day and follow as much instruction, correct? Yeah, so I don't think we need to vote on that. I think that's just what it's set at, I think. Okay, does anybody have any questions, comments? Hopefully next month we meet in person and everybody has a lot of time to think about different things and bring them to the table. I'll say real quick, like Kathleen Woodward, thank you again. You have been doing tremendous amounts of work, and this is new to her, and she got thrown into it at the beginning of COVID, along with Gabby, and the camp staff has been great.
Yes,
we have
absolutely
put-
grateful for the camp staff and the pool
Yeah.
staff. They've been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they got rave reviews from, so many parents and so many community members. And, the program it's all a credit to them because they bring such a great vibe to the program and they're so enthusiastic about being a part of the kids. And I mean, they're grown-up kids themselves, I guess you could say, but they're such great people. And I'm so grateful to, to have that amazing staff that they work so well together. And, that Gabby and Cam and Angie work so well together in coordinating everything too. And I personally just need to say thank you to Michelle because she has been absolutely always there and ready to answer any questions that I had and to help in any way, shape, or form. So I am truly grateful for all of your help too. So thank you so much, Michelle.
No worries. We're going to get this all back up and running good with the help of new people existing on the committee. And we, the one quick thing I want to say, we have put a notice in the Whitman Express the last couple of weeks looking for people to join our committee. So, once we meet in person, anybody's welcome to come. We're open to ideas. Anybody watching this, email Kathleen, give us your ideas, come sit in on a meeting, whatever you can do, because
Yes,
obviously
we love to have input.
yeah, we want to be here for the town and promote these programs and really get things moving in the right direction and keep them moving in the right direction because we've had such a rough couple of years. So a lot of this is being reinvented with new staff and new people. So it'll take a little bit longer to build it up to where probably we all want it to be, but I think we're going in the right direction and hopefully we continue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll do a motion to adjourn at 7:47. Oh, wait a minute. Should we set a date for the next?
Oh,
meeting?
yes. I was going to say we need to meet again.
And especially if we were planning on having the Easter thing on the 9th, we
Yeah.
might want to meet before that.
Exactly. So let me see. Do we want to try to meet, like, I'm just thinking a Thursday because I know Ryan works certain nights and I know Thursdays worked for him. Do we want to go with like Thursday, the 24th, because that's still 2 weeks ahead of the 9th, or do we want to do like the 17th for a quick, and we could do another Zoom meeting if you want, and it will be solely about the Easter event, if you want to do that, and any little things that might pop up. We have to put in a meeting notice by next week, but we could really kind of just focus on the Easter event. And then Kathleen, anything you find over the next 2 weeks, we can kind of
Right. I
bring
think
that
we
in
could do
on
the
that meeting.
24th. I don't know. Are Thursdays good for everybody? Kevin,
Thursdays are
Ron,
great.
you guys, Kathleen, are Thursdays all right for
Those
people?
are
And
fine.
what,
In the past, we've had it on Wednesdays.
yeah, I think Wednesday might have been one of the days Ryan couldn't do. I'm pretty sure for some reason, I thought he said Tuesdays and Thursdays were better for him. I know a definite Thursday, so should we just set the next meeting for Thursday? Because then we know at least probably he can come to that. Is that good? Sound good? So do you want to do
Yeah,
the
that's good.
24th? Do you want to do Zoom or in person?
I know we can do Zoom through March. I'm not sure about April, but
Right. So do we want to just do Zoom so we can check in quick and just kind of iron out this Easter event on the 24th? Is that
yeah,
good
then
then?
we'll know by then whether we can even have it.
Right,
Because we'll be
Right.
objecting with everybody or, you
right,
know.
because I won't really need to tell town hall till like the 17th, put a meeting notice out. So if for some reason we know in the next 2 weeks, we can't coordinate all this, we'll tell everybody we're not having a meeting, right? How's that?
Good
Okay.
That
plan.
sounds great.
Okay, so the 24th, 6:30 PM via Zoom. Okay, all right. So motion to adjourn at 7:49 PM. Do I have a second?
Second. Ah, you got it before me. You're old and
Kathleen?
slow. It's okay,
You're
Kevin.
so funny, Kevin.
Kathleen, you good?
Good.
Okay, and then if something else comes up, we can always adjust it a little. Okay,
Right. Thank you all so much. It was so nice to talk to everybody. Appreciate all your help and your commitment to the recreation program.